Well, welcome back to Factorio MSX Gigabase. As you can see, we finished up that research. The next worker robot speed on marathon tech prices costs 512,000. It would only be 128,000 if we weren't using the marathon tech cost. We're not ready to start more science. A couple of things first. First of all, this stack over here, stack 5, is now active and feeding all of the science with its iron. We have a priority 5 for supplying iron first from stack 5, then 1, then 3, and stack 5. In fact, that one's probably come from stack 5. No, it's come from 1. Interesting. Why is 5 not supplying that, I wonder? Do I even... yeah, I do. There's the publisher. I'll have to look into that. There seems to be an issue there. These ones should be supplying. Go there. 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 Confusing. I'm not quite sure what happened there. Anyway, hopefully they've kind of woken up and are going to work. We'll look into that at a future point. The red circuits, we're finally up to them. If we have a look in each of these, those are just requested ones sitting in requester chests. There is no balance sitting there. In fact, we can't even fill up any of our red circuit trains. So that is why we're at red circuits, because it is finally time to do something about our red circuits. Improve their, let's manual U before you come charging through. Now we don't need you to proceed any further, so let's do that. And now you can go back to auto as though nothing was wrong. What we will do is we will actually manually force all of these guys out. Actually, we don't even need to manually force them out. We can just send them to RC1 wait. They'll probably all be sent off somewhere immediately and used. That's fine, I don't mind. They're not full. They are probably fairly close to full, but they're not actually full. What's on it? 51,000. Normally you would have 64,000, but whoops, and this one 21,000. So this is the worst of the lot, but not to worry. So I've brought along a whole bunch of buffer chests. I think the idea is that we will try and extend the network slightly, maybe over as far as here. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's probably a bit silly. I probably really should have just made a blueprint of this at some point, but never mind. In fact, I probably have. There you go, it's right there. Never mind, it's more fun doing it that way. So what we will do is we will grab a... if we can find one of these with no bots in it, or just a handful of bots in it, or we just won't worry too much. We'll find one of them. Looks like we have to go over there to ensure that it is in range. Now, what I want to do is we have a whole lot of green circuits, we have a whole lot of copper. Let's tell these things to pick up green circuits in the amount of, I think they can go to about 9,600. So if we have, if we have sort of 200,000 of them, we probably need about 3 rows, and this one can be copper, and they can stack to about 4,000. Oops. So a couple of rows of that. So the bots can help clear out all of this stuff for us. Now, how many actual red circuits are in here? Quite a few. Oh wow, this is going to take a while. I'm guessing there is... Oh, why did I start there instead of up there? Never mind, we started here. We are going to rip out all of this stuff. Which is likely to... Oh. Uh-oh, how much copper cable is there here? I didn't even think about the copper cable. Alright, you copper cable to whatever amount you go to. Whoops. I knew there was a reason I wanted this large number. And auto trash copper cable, I don't want any thanks. Green circuits, I don't want any thanks. So now they'll take them off me as well. Logi bots, I don't want any of them either, thanks. Okay, so what we will do is we will try and pull all of this down. In a nice orderly fashion. Let me start using some of these as well. To store these other extraterraneous things. Oh, and I forgot to get more of the fusion reactors. So that wasn't very clever of me. It'll make this whole exercise take a little bit longer. This wall of bots. How about we help out a little bit? Some of these things can just be picked up. And that's actually faster than you emptying them one item at a time. Oh dear. Alright, I am going to remove these train publishers and these other things. back up here, let's get rid of some more stuff. And I guess as per usual, this is going to take rather a long time. So I guess what I'll do is I will finish this off camera and rejoin you when we have cleaned out the red circuit creation. See you shortly. And welcome back. Okay, so this is what a cleared out red stack looks like. The previous red circuit stack was capable of about 40,000. I don't think that's actually enough, so in any event we had to make some changes. Now I might actually just reinstate that. And that. And this one as well, because I think in our revised version we will actually need 2 unloads and 1 load. Now I think it's time to get rid of that one. Okay, so how is the new one going to work? Obviously we are going to use our complete surround, because that will reduce the total number of entities that we require, and that is a significant part of the idea. So I completely surrounded one of these guys, for example, 1.4 times the copper cable requirements, 2 copper cable every half second. The red circuits need 4 copper cable in total, but every 6 seconds, so unsped up and unproduction moduled, you can get 1 copper cable per 6 machines, although we only had 1 copper cable per 4 machines, so there is yet another example of an opportunity for fewer entities. So with production modules, your 6 machines goes up to 8.4, and if you choose a big enough multiple, the 0.4 can actually contribute as well. So we'll go for 8 copper cable machines, which is good for 8 by 8.4 or 67.2, forget the 0.2, but 67. So that's 75, so we need rows of 13, which I happen to have made a copy of 13 just here. I was just checking that it fits. That's 4. And that is about 3.5. So we can put that like so. We won't need those guys in there. Oops. In fact, they'll need something like that. Which will give us more total recharge than we had before. So that is basically our block, although we need to obviously change some of these things. I don't have any of those, do I? No, because I have probably dumped them all over here. 8, perfect. What happened then? Not auto-trashing anything? No, good, right. Oh, here we go. Overactive bots, alright, that's fine. We were going to place them anyway, so I guess now they are placed. 1, 2, 3, 4. I guess that's as good as any. So you copper cable. And all the rest of you are red circuits. Pretty much the only other thing that we need to ascertain is whether is how many inserters and boxes we require for the copper cables. Let me just tell it to give me a bunch of those, and maybe some of those, and some of these. Yes, that's fairly fast and efficient building. So yes, copper cable. Basically, we start off with a speed of 2 per half a second. We're going to a speed of 8. So 2 copper cable, 2 times 1.4, start that again, 2 times 1.4 times, clear, 2 times 1.4 times 8, 22.4. So in theory, the copper cable can be output by a single stack inserter. So we'll run with that for now, and we'll see how it goes in practice, obviously, because you need to see these things for real to know whether they work or not. And how much copper are we going to go through in a second? We're outputting 22.4. It's like 10, I guess. 8 times 1 a second, it's 8. Yeah, it's 8. So if we wanted to cover the likes of a minute, we'd need a sort of 400 to 500. Obviously you don't need that, you need copper in the amount of, say, well, we'll make it 600. And then the red circuits, what does it come up with? 80. It takes 6 seconds, which means that it is 3/4 of a second. So it's more like about 180 that I'd really like of each of these items, and that one should be 360. It's not 350, 360. And that way each one of these machines has like a minute's supply. It's just a buffer. Maybe it's an excessive buffer. Right, so that is our pattern. We obviously need this to be flipped over. Placed on the other side. This entranceway can be completely eliminated. That's actually a departure at this point. That's okay. Don't need it. Don't need this entranceway. We do need something here, so oh, I see. I've got one queue for the bottom and one queue for the top. So basically this one here should probably be the top, I guess. Something like that. A lot of room there, unfortunately. Right. So I'm guessing that this pattern is not going to fit perfectly or be perfectly aligned with that one. Yeah. So we'll redo all of these entranceways so that it can be squished down as much as possible, which means all the rest of these are going to basically be wrong. But let's use the material from down here to, as much as possible, build this out, which won't be fully possible. I don't have these guys selected. We probably won't have nearly enough beacons. Because the original did not need nearly as many beacons. And we do need more roboports, although I don't think I actually removed any. No. So yes, we are going to need a slightly different product mix. Alright, we'll need to remove all of this. Might as well use up these resources as much as possible. And provide some power to here. Right. This one at the end will probably have to just get eliminated, because it won't prove to be that helpful. It might pay just to do these bits first and then come back and do the entrance ways. I don't have the stations in the middle either. Maybe I should actually do that first before I start copying all of this. Train stop. Okay. Must be about there and there, maybe. Should put this one slightly off. I'm not 100% sure yet of the strategy in terms of inserters. 1, 2, 3. It might end up being something like 4 from four unloads and 4 loads, in each section, which would mean that we would want one, two, three, four. 5, 6, 7, 8. So we'd want to place this back a little bit. Possibly about there or there. It's not going to line up perfectly, unfortunately, but that's just the way of it. And of course the inverse down here. Slightly wrong. And this one. And that's it. Active provider chests. Hang on, I'm a bit confused. So this might actually be more than we actually need, and I should print it back further. Yeah, I seem to have reversed the whole thing at this point. Right, let's just quickly do this bit. Greens, there you are. Excuse me. And the active providers, we need some more. There may not. Oh yeah, there are some. Plenty. Yes, to unload the trains in the time required, we may not need as many as this. And it may be worth removing a few more. But for now, we will run with that. These were probably one further forward. But never mind. Alright. Well, let's grab all of that. remove that bit. 1. We are going to run out of room for these little guys very soon, so we may have to actually just start dumping them into anywhere. Come on guys, hurry up. Pick up the boxes. So, I really don't know how many more, so what I think I will do is just let's guesstimate and get, say, 1,000, well, even 900, and there's 2 of these per, so that's 1,800 of those. Is there anything else we are obviously missing? Yeah, we're probably missing some substations. So if we get 100 substations as well, that's probably a good idea. It's loading up. Let's just see how it's going. Wow, that was quick. Just waiting on the speed modules, which shouldn't be taking very long. Excuse me. Oh, sorry about that. I'm not actually sure why this is taking so long, because there are speed modules here. Very interesting. Alright, well let's work on this then to get it right. Since we already have this infrastructure for departing via the second lane, let's make the most of it. These are just entrance ways. Whoops. So, you need to go through and out like so. And you need to get out of the way. Yeah, it's not going to be where we need it. Again, shouldn't really try and play and record. It's late enough at night that I shouldn't really be trying to do this, but never mind. That lets us retain some of our existing infrastructure. This will obviously need to have to come down a bit further. Though to work this properly, it would make a lot more sense probably to have the lower ones go to the more outer one, and to have the inner one only start further up. In fact, why don't I do that? That would be a lot more sensible than what I am doing. So then there would be no need to cross over. Like so. Bots can clear out this, bots can clear out a bit of this one as well, because that will start up just above, and I will have to redo my work there. You can go away. So it's here that we will start using the inner lane, and this way the departing trains have no need to cross over to the outer lane. Which may have been what I was trying to do in the first place, but never mind. Whoops. It didn't quite work out that way. Act up these bits, and at the top we now need to retrace our steps and go in the inner lane, because that just makes so much more sense. Don't know what I was thinking when I did it originally. There we go. Now, how is the supply train going? It is not going especially well. I don't know what it's doing. It's coming without a bunch of the stock. Never mind. Maybe it will come back for another trip, or we can force it to come back. It's not pretending over here that it's got everything, is it? No. It's trying to request 100, but it's not getting any. A little bit weird. Well, here we go. Let's boost those numbers up a bit. Did I order robo ports at the same time? I'm not sure if I did. No. I think we need quite a few more, so let's put in, say, 50. It's back there already, but struggling to load for some reason. Guys, maybe we should call this episode here. This is one of what will now become 2 stacks. We will have 1 stack here. We'll have a second stack down here, which is one reason why getting rid of these things is good, because that would have freed up space to put the stack in directly there. We might have to let the stack sort of come in below this thing just to accommodate. But in any event, I would like to get this one back up and running, and then get the next stack working. We're open for launching, but we're not launching because we're not using plastic at the moment. But anyway, thanks for joining me. We'll shortly be done with these rebuilds, and then we can really put the pedal to the metal, as so to speak, as far as the science goes. Looking forward to it. See you then, guys. Bye bye for now.